It's already recording, bro.
Hallelujah. Just want to thank everybody for your time. We have 5 minutes and I'll be out of your hair. So what I was presented to talk to you about was basically informative and to discuss 3 reasons why minority youth become at risk. So one thing, 1/3 of minority youth is the total population of youth in the United States. What's interesting is that 2/3 of minority youth account for the nation's total of incarcerated youth in the United States. This statistic alone is very disheartening and very disturbing and scary. In my line of work, field of study, also leadership in this church centers around minority youth. My goal, my assignment, my zeal is to provide youth with a positive way of living to beat the odds of what society deems them to become. This could be done through both spiritual or natural. However, what I need us to pay attention to is the why factor behind minority youth becoming at risk. Being at risk is defined as becoming a drug abuser, alcohol abuser, involved in criminal activity, or leading to death or incarceration. To understand the why factor is to understand 3 key components, which is the youth's home, the youth's neighborhood, and the youth's educational resources. So first, youth that grow up in a single-parent home are likely to face a great barrier and become at risk. Why single parents experience depression, lack of social support, which consequently filters down to the child? That's according to Dr. Randall Gracie, who wrote At-Risk Youth and Resiliency Factors. Approximately 13.6 million single parents in the United States today are parents that are responsible for raising 2.2 million of children in the United States. That's approximately 26% of children in the United States here today. Single parents are likely to carry great stress, excessive workloads, and work long hours, which contributes to the lack of support in the home for provision of the home. Secondly, youth who grow up in impoverished neighborhoods can experience great negative influence and become at risk. Youth who grow up in poor neighborhoods is a direct link to poverty. Research shows that youth raised in poverty have a more difficult time finding it hard to get out of poverty. Secondly, youth that are more prevalent in low-income minority communities where poverty and family instability and unemployment are. These communities provide productive environments for gangs and illicit drug markets. Thirdly, youth who continue to remain in poverty, their chances of graduating from high school significantly drops by 2% each year. Lastly, the lack of education resources for our youth can lead to our youth becoming at risk. By the 6th grade, minority youth, specifically blacks, trail their white counterparts by 2 years in the 6th grade. Educating minority youth is very, very important. Minority youth with poor education and resources are more inclined to drop out, either in early stages of their schooling or at graduation. Minority youth without a good education that decides to enter into the work field will experience a lack of skill that employers seek in order to be employed, making it extremely difficult for them to get hired. So as I conclude in all, the focus on why minority youth become at risk result from 3 factors. The home of the youth, in reference to single parenting, poor neighborhoods, and lack of educational resources all contribute to the youth becoming at risk. But again, at risk is being defined as drug or alcohol abusers, involved in criminal activity, that leads into incarceration or death. However, is it the outside influences that impact minority youth, or is it the inside influences that impact our minority youth? The Bible states that in Proverbs 22:6 that we are to train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart.
That's right.
So which ways are our children being raised that they cannot depart? Thank you.